afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another amazing, exciting, riveting Propagandacast. Me, your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda, Hero of Psych, Defender of the Fatherland. Off here to 1 vs 1 on Langraskaya. In the north, we got Luciano fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Forming up here, the Sperrverbande von Sauchen with defensive doctrine. In the south, we got Hellcats fighting for the Soviet Union, Socialism, Comrade Stalin. And the 10th Mechanized Corps tasked with shattering the fascist lines here, being tenuously held by Luciano and his Sperrverbande with defensive doctrine versus armoured assaults of both players within the first minute know their game plan. We got mostly infantry for Hellcat and a mix of anti-tank weapons a bit into this world for Luciano. We got Osttruppen obviously out here on the field. MD42's out. He's going to be vulnerable to a scout cast if Hellcats decide to push for that, since he does not have the infantry company, meaning Luciano has no Panzerfausts. We'll have to see how this works out. Hellcats is going for the Strafniki first. Of course, in this sort of situation, it does mean that Luciano will be grabbing a bit more territories and getting the Osttruppen used to faster out. So, could be a slight lead, though of course the penal troops will be very effective as the Osttruppen can that way push them back. So it's going to be a bit dicey as the game proceeds between Luciano and Hellcats. And Luciano will likely need to either take really fast with some light machine guns just to slightly edge things out or even things out, and he just won't quite be able to do it. Or he's going to have to go for Panzer Grenadiers, and still normally recommend Panzer Grenadiers. He'll go for an Osttruppen heavy build. Third squad out there, scout convoy for Hellcats. So Luciano is about to enter a world of pain, as again he has absolutely no way of Panzerfausting that M3A1. But now to see how he's moving about the machine gun, he's looking to keep it flexible, always waiting to either support an attack or slow down a ration assault. But in this case, he's clearly not prepared for what Hellcats is doing. He's going straight for the cutoff point. Once he sees the penal troopers, will Luciano, of course, be aware of this? And of course, Hellcats likely, to an extent, knows what Luciano's gone for, thanks to radio intercept, which is maybe just why he goes straight for the scout car as fast as he does, Osttruppen. And if he hasn't heard anything, again, he went forward a bit fast enough. Again, he didn't hear an infantry company going up. He should, of course, also be aware of the very small possibility that Luciano has any way of stopping the scout car with Panzerfausts. So, it'll be interesting to see what Luciano does and what Hellcats does. Scout car engineers in it. No flamethrowers as of yet. He is close, but he's not quite there. Sandbags up, and there you go. Scout car moving in. So far, the way he's not moving in hyper aggressively, then again, it could be a bit of pathing, would indicate he is actually not aware that Luciano does not have an infantry company, and meaning he's not aware that his opponent does not have access to Panzerfaust. Otherwise, I am reasonably sure that Hellcats were just barreling straight in and just punching out as many of Luciano's teeth as possible, or he was just waiting for the flamethrower. That's also a possibility here for Hellcats. Flank here with the Osttruppen. Penal was then engaging with SVT-40 semi-automatic rifles. Luciano is very quick to take out once he sees that Hellcats got a scout car out. He's not going for the infantry company, but looking at how Hellcats is playing, Luciano might be safe to assume that his opponent is not aware. Again, he does not have access to Panzerfaust right away, so he can actually get away with going for the light mechanized company, and that way getting access to it, not having to spend resources on the infantry company. I mean, there's a lot of mind games here in the early game between these two players, thanks to their choices. And there you go, like to make a nice company up so soon it won't matter that he does not have access to Panzerfaust, because he will. And of course for Hellcats, the knowledge won't matter anyway soon enough. So very interesting. He's going in with the scout car. Penal was ready in it. Luciano's front line though has collapsed a bit, so it's going to have a bit. The MD42s immediately routed since the Osttruppen are mostly elsewhere or back at base. So there we go. Panzerfaust available straight into the half track there, likely for a flamethrower after that way push back at Hellcats forces to burn the Bolsheviks, to scorch the Stalinists. Anyways, points are being seized. Half track halfway down there for Luciano and the Sperrverbande von Sauchen. Third penal trooper squad on the way for Hellcats. We'll have to see if he's ready for the flamethrower after, because so far he does not look to have any anti-tank weapons himself. There you go, Panzerfaust on the M3A1, taking it out. Half track out, and of course for Hellcats, this should very likely begin triggering some sort of anti-tank preparations, unless he did not hear it or spot the message well appeared there, I think, thanks to radio intercept. So if he's not ready, it's going to hurt a lot for Hellcats as Luciano basically begins burning down everything he holds dear. But we can see that Hellcats meet the retreat to unit, likely going to try and take up something here, I imagine. Yup, support company, that's going to be field guns here versus Luciano. He might also, I guess, in a weak moment, go find a tank rifle from the penal troopers, but likely field guns will be the primary counter here to the half-track. More pioneers up for Luciano. Probably, yeah, for minesweepers, he's a bit worried about Hellcats laying down mines, so obviously trap up the light vehicle, for that matter in infantry, but for the half-track in particular, it's going to be a big issue if Luciano rolls that one straight into a mine and then becomes an easy target. Hellcats going for another M31 in an interesting move there. He might be aiming for... Yeah, anti-tank rifles going to form up in mobile anti-tank groups, so that way try and hunt down a flame for a half-track. That's definitely also one way of doing it, a bit expensive, and of course if it fails, you're going to be in quite a bit of pain, but if it works out, it might cause your opponent to be a bit more worried about things. So we'll have to see how it ends up there. And the tank rifle's almost done in the PTRS 41, which, as a fun fact, did not have ammunition for it when it first was introduced. It first came about in 1942. So, little fun fact there, by the way, little fun fact. Admittedly, it wasn't a very good anti-tank rifle, but then, when it arrived, they did give the infantry a bit of comfort, I suppose. It was effectively, or basically only effective at dealing with the sidearm of tanks was sort of reasonably close enough, and the GMs of course did add armoured skirts to counter that, but like it wasn't something they could take on a German tank head on even in your wildest dreams. Always Scout going in for the flame for half to get in here in the east. Got Osttruppen pushing for the cup point again. Luciano is playing somewhat aggressively with his Osttruppen. M3 they're rushing in, half trip rushing into the base. We got a bunker up here for Luciano. Oh no. And the Speerverbande von Sauken as the 10th Mechanized Corps there is hot on the heels of Luciano's retreating forces, almost taking out a full Osttruppen squad here. Close one, but not quite. Will he try to, enter here? Or will he just try to look for other touches? The M42 is expecting such a move here to a degree. Of course, he can't immediately deal with this, and of course, up close to the scout cover, the Pim's Ministry will be able to clear out the M42 quickly and could result in a wipe here against Luciano, which of course would be great for Hellcats, but obviously less amazing for Luciano. Also, Armoured retreating, cat popping up here. So, my apology for something weird happens if he decides to step on the keyboard because the cat doesn't quite fathom the concept of a keyboard. A bit like he understands the air conditioner sort of pushes out hot air, which he likes, but he doesn't know how it works, so he actually tries to, pry it open, and somehow, it's just some sort of thing that just pushes it out naturally. Anyways, back to the game. Peels from the eastwards there, field gun on the way there for Hellcats. And we got the Pack 40 out here for Luciano to help deal with the scout camp, possibly any light armor here Hellcats might aim for. This is 3 on the way as well. Hellcats obviously want to deal with any additional light vehicles that arrive, just in case he loses the scout car. Plus, of course, the possibility of Luciano bringing out more armor. Or any armor, actually. And for those wondering, what is a Speerverbande? That was basically the German sort of name for any sort of defensive Kampfgruppe that sort of quickly put together, sort of slow down, and hold a position. That was specifically designated as a Speerverbande. So, basically means blocking formation or blocking group. Little fun note there. And they could be combined or whatever was at hand. And was usually named after whoever's in command of them. Similar to how a lot of most Kampfgruppen were just named after the commanding officer of the group. Pioneers there versus engineers. Field gun firing at the Pioneers, direct hit, obliterate Jürgen and Heinz. And these got the flamethrower after going in there, hitting some isolated units there. I mean, Luciano could try and sneak into where most of the fighting happens, but if it's going to catch an isolated unit with it, it's much better because it's going to be much harder for Hellcats to say support them. And in this case, it's actually a good chance to get to wipe you on the retreating penal troopers, which of course would be absolutely amazing. In this case, Luciano decides not to push it further. He's a bit worried the scout car could catch up and destroy it. Panzer going to do there for Luciano, very good. He has lost an Osttruppen squad though, which is less good. But some hardened Panzer going to do there could do a lot of work. He's also taking up, but cancels it for tech. I mean, I still like to see some Panzer Grenadiers, but I mean, taking up in this situation I think is still pretty good. Though with just 2 Osttruppen squads, Luciano's infantry complement is looking particularly weak. And he needs to be a bit mindful of that. In particular, if Hellcats decide to commit, to a fourth penal trooper squad, Luciano could find things crumbling apart from him very rapidly. Pack covering the centre there with its 75mm cannon. Penals moving about there. Pioneers Osttruppen down the left flank. Scout car opening up the advancing Osttruppen. Pack shoots, penetrates the scout car's frontal armour easily. Getting some kills there with the 5th cavalry mounted on the front. And there you go, Ralston still need to fix up that scout car rapidly. In the west, bit of skirmishing here. We got the flame after moving in. He's going to have to bring up the anti-tank to deal with that. And of course ensure they don't get bypassed with the flame for half tank, in which case it could quickly deal with. There we go, one hit there. And the tank pilot was moving up. Light won't be able to finish it off, noting of course the Pioneers have flamethrowers themselves. Also, fun fact about flamethrower half tanks, there was actually 3 flamethrowers on them. One of them was meant to be carried by someone on the ground. So, fun note there. Which was then of course then connected to the main fuel tank on the half track. Scout reinforcing. Now further attempts to take up there for Hellcats, also routed from the fuel point. People coming to the retreat path, could get a wipe here. That definitely be a bit of person there for Luciano. That would put him just 1 Osttruppen squad. In this case, though, he's lucky his anti-tank penal troops are not regular ones. Maximum there for Hellcats. I'm starting to get the impression he might be trying to stall for an IS-2 and not in game for the tank Reaper tank command, which would be rather ambitious in a slightly deranged sense. But there you go, machine gun bypass on both sides. One squad suppressed. More storm up for Luciano. No punch going into this. Scout crossing straight through the centre. Could have maybe used a wood drive to speed things up. Needs to get away though before the Pack 40 punches another big fat hole. He cannot survive into it and crashes through the clothesline and avoids the arc of fire of the Pack 40. Close save there by Hellcats. These people are punching through Luciano's Osttruppen line, which absolutely, well, is about as capable of holding back the Russians as that clothesline were. Or was. So the problem crop here is going to be some panzers there. Hellcats might find themselves needing another anti-tank gun or maybe more penal troopers. Back here repairs, points being seized. Luciano's going to need to attack back, and of course the Osttruppen in these situations do tend to struggle a bit with this. This is why I recommend panzer grenadiers, since obviously they are much better suited for attacking. But we got the Panzer IV on the way, or field on the way there. Panzer IV not quite happening there for Luciano. Needs the manpower first. Direct hit here, actually on the house, not on the half track. We hit it, Petrov. You hit the house. We were not shooting at the house. No. Oh. Got the SIS-3 out there for Hellcats. Scout cover the anti-tank troops moving eastwards, Luciano moving westwards there. So a bit of a guessing game here for Luciano where Hellcats lines are weak and then to push through, though in this case the safe assumption will be the west since he's shifting everything towards the east. But there you go, field gun able to cover the centre here, makes the flamethrower have to fall back. Scout goes all the way towards it. We got demo charge in the house there, sneaky setup there. Will Luciano run for it, use it? Or will he be anticipating that Hellcats has demoed it up? Hard to say here. Direct hit on the scout here, but the attack 40 need to fall back, make some covering up here as well. Westward assault there continues well for Luciano with nary any resistance there from Hellcats. Still no attack up. Okay, Panzer IV, no, he's just. Wait, did he go for 2-2 over Panzer IV? Has Luciano lost it officially? But no, Luciano has not lost it officially. He's not yet. Machine gun routing, in fact, really bad timing there. Luciano set up for the incendiary pierce runs, is immediately forced to retreat there, so that's kind of nice there for Hellcats. Kind of means this barrage they actually earned itself in, since he just used it to not just kill some machine gun crew members, but also more or less negate and then a setup of that machine gun with the incendiary piercing round. So well done there. Pioneers moving up, troops moving westwards there with the penal troopers, 2 full squads. Worth noting is not able to get up any of them to veterans 2. Mines down here. Note these artillery mines obviously to stall up any Russian armour or scout cars. But was not able to finish there as Hellcats penal troopers there rudely interrupted. We got a satchel charge off there. He's actually worried about the mine. Wasn't aware that he was not able to finish it, so ends up wasting munitions on it. That's great for Luciano, by the way. That's 45 munitions. That's not going to be, say, a mine or an anti-tank satchel right away anyways. But Hellcats, yeah, there you go. He's finally taking out. I was about to say, otherwise he'd be only 6 command points be stalling for the IS-2, and that would just be, I think, a bit too silly, particularly again with nothing else going on there. So there you go, 10% command up. He's otherwise got most of the map there, most of the fuel that in sense, versus Luciano. But he has been expending more resources on light vehicles, so he's not going to quite be on the pacing. But next on the fire there from the Panther 4, field gun nearby. Both houses now have been raked with demolition charges. So even if Luciano, of course, becomes aware of the booby demo charge, which most likely is, he can't really do anything about it for the most part. So the houses are large and useful for him. I mean, basically what needs to happen is get the pioneers up there, and then Hellcats isn't seeing it, so you can that way deal with them. And of course, if they get spotted doing it, you can just, let his Hellcats and just, detonate and blow it apart. Find the west flank here after there. Ooh, that was an awkward time for bombardment. Big 2 points wise, Luciano has a nice lead over Hellcats here. And he goes straight for the mechanized armor company here. Very good, so that's definitely not going to be a nice 2-score here from Hellcats. Most likely it's going to be, I think, a T-35 out here versus Luciano, and a T-35 versus the Panther 4 is great. Particularly since Luciano's got 1 pack 40 backing it all up. There we go. Demo charge dealt with, house collapsed. Eastern fuel pond reclaimed there for Germany. And a Stug 3 Ausführung E out here for Luciano, and it's in choice at this time. Curious as to what provoked this decision. Second house collapsed with the power of the demo charge. Field guns pushing back here, and we got the studio opening up with the 75mm cannon. Not really a lot of Stu 3Ds would have been in operation by 1944-45. Most of them, if they had been, would have been part of a training or replacement battalion, or specifically training unit. So, little note there. Of course, the cannon itself would have likely seen usage on a lot of vehicles. They could do that way, quite the same sort of support, just with less armor. You had half-techs equipped with it, you had armored cars equipped with it. So now, fun notes there. And these got Osttruppen holding up the right flank on their own, as if though they were Atlas, but Osttruppen instead, and obviously not quite as capable. Flampans when they're scorching at the penal troops in the centre there, remain strongly entrenched. Stugi backing at OSN push, sort of. Shot fired. Does a lot of damage to the house, but not so much to the engineers in the east. Now the push there for Hellcats, successive breaks for Luciano's lines. The flame for half-tech cannot hold it back. Hellcats, they're going for the T-45. Very good, very good. You could consider maybe a fuel cache to help set up for a IS-2 in the longer run. T-45 almost done, seizing the points here, making good progress for the Red Army. Mining up here, very good. Make some suppressing this in. We got the anti-tank piloters running up. Lots of munitions there can soon be utilised for an Osttruppen make attack here versus Hellcats. Machine gun on fire from the field gun, it seems like. 2 shots so far completely missed the mark here, and third shot more or less lands a direct hit. In fact, it's so direct it actually damages the machine gun but leaves most of the rest of the crew alive, interestingly enough. Osttruppen equipped with light machine guns, so of course at this stage Hellcats will know Luciano has managed to reach tier 4. If he has listened to radio intercept, by the way. So the question is, of course, will Hellcats now begin worrying about Panthers and Sturmpanzers, and of course will Luciano actually go for any of those things? But there you go, T-45 in the field. Panther 1 gaining use in the east, moving up to put some pressure there on the Hellcats' right flank. Stugi bombarding. 3 kills, closing the veterans E1. 4 kills. Could perhaps use the T-45 a bit more effectively here. But they're going to fire here from Luciano's Panzerabwehrkanone 40. In the east, more engagements here. Field gun being swarmed by the Flamethrower Optic Panther backing up. That's a bit of an issue. We've got the second field gun running up, but it's not hitting. It's not hitting. It needs the T-45 support here. Field gun crew is about to get annihilated here by Luciano and the Sperrverbande. And there you go. The field gun crew expires. Caught on fire. T-45 moving in, shoots, bounces over the Panzer frontal armor. Bit of bad luck there for Hellcats. Panzer escapes. There you go. Second shot penetrates. Field gun crewing the. Punic was crewing the field gun there. Hopefully didn't say the other way around. T-55 moving in. And then we got another Pack 40 here for Luciano to help deal with the arrival of the T-55. He's clears down to worry a bit more about it. Scout car up here to support as well. Second field gun moving in. Left flank though is rather wide open there. And we can see Luciano slowly beginning to probe it more and more. Ooh, attempting to take out the Pack 40 with a field gun. It's barrage. Interesting. Eastern field been secured now means Luciano might be able to get ahead and field it over Hellcats. Osttruppen routed in the centre. In the east we got a few pioneers up against the Punic troopers. T-55 coming in and supporting here. Field gun rolling back for healing and repairs maybe as well. Mechanized armor company then signing up Hellcats. And there you go, Pack 40 up in the T-55. And we got Hellcats rolling out the western side again. Heading for the victory point and the fuel point. Very good, very good. Push for the centre with the Osttruppen, the light machine gun singing a dirge here for any Russian infantry. Scout car by with 12 kills, very nice. Of course, most of them, not all of them, are Osttruppen. Pack 40 infantry down here with the Ace Engineers, 12 kills, very nice. Panzerfaust on the Scout car, that's amazing. Second Panzerfaust off there, and there you go, the Scout car is finally down. The second one for Hellcats. Back at base. T-55 and a lot of the units pulling back there for healing repairs. Luciano's advance is steadily making progress. We got Sector Artillery available him now, so he needs to break up any push there by Hellcats. Very strong ability after it got buffed, of course, rather expensive, but well timed, it can be worth it. Almost got the Osttruppen there in the west. We got the Sturmgeschütz on the move. So far, it does not look like Luciano is planning a heavy Panzer Corps, though of course that can always change. Oh, looks like in fact that's about to change right now as he builds it. Still moving about halfway to it 72. Mines up here, lots of mine to defend the fuel point there. Very good, very good. Looks like Hellcats is now stalling for it, though again he might want to consider at least one fuel cache to help support the IS-2 push. Hey, Panzer got there for Luciano. It's going to be a bit of hard to get any, say, like big things out of it, like the Panther, the Sturm Panzer. But of course, he might be aiming for the Panzer all along. And okay, Hellcats is not stalling from the IS-2. He's going for the HQ-5, probably at the sound of the heavy Panzer Corps. If he was playing the IS-2, that might just change his mind and want to get some tank source helping the support versus any German heavy armor, which is not really a bad decision at all. Also, I'm going to creep over on the victory point. Penal took me about to contest that. We got Panther from the centre. HQ-5 is almost down there for Hellcats and the 10th Mechanized Corps. Flamethrower extracts in the centre. Hellcats is actually quite vulnerable. There you go, T-55 coming in. Could get the Flamethrower maybe finally, and no, misses. So close here, but he's forced to withdraw here under heavy anti-tank fire there from Luciano. Big 2 points whilst Luciano's got, Hellcats got a small lead over Luciano. Eastern victory point secured there by the Germans. Osttruppen pushed back in the west. Field gun there, virtually 2. 15 kills. Very nice use of the barrages there by Hellcats. Got a max on the way there for Hellcats. Osttruppen being suppressed, Drew moving up, close to virtually 2, Maxim getting blasted. H5 shoots here through the hedgerows. Does not quite hit him. There you go. Pack forward with the tank destroyer. Hellcats need to reposition that one before he gets obliterated. Enemy guys supporting here from Hellcats trying to break up Luciano's push here, but will it be enough? Will it be sufficient? Pack crews there getting blasted. Stugi gaining Reggie 2 shots, not Panzer from the way for Luciano. No attempt to kill the armor here, but it's rocket artillery. We got a unit wiped out there. Maximum crew deceased. And in the center here, Pim's with us the MG-42 which press panel planning carrying fire there. H5 moves up to shoot there. Nice hit, nice hit. Luciano does pull back the Panther in just about time. And now we got the T-5 going here for the Stugi. Might try and take it out, but decide not to. It's hard to say here. Panther is good to obliterate. And now we got sector artillery to try and slow down any advance here from Hellcats. Luciano invokes the sector artillery. Will Hellcat be aware of this? There we go, shots flying down. Bit of random artillery in there. Pack's getting blasted by the air support. Osttruppen suppressed. And we got engineers on the way of Hellcats to help repair his armor. Very good decision there. Engineers about to get wiped out. And certainly losing them there, but certainly undercut to the degree and going for an engineer support in a sense. No self repairs, and they should fire all the T-45. Push to the centre for the Osttruppen. We got the T-45 opening up here, shattering cover, and none of the Osttruppen. Lucky Luciano here in this. Out of the road here. E is slowly approaching veterinary feet. And the ace level. Devastating penal troopers caught out in the open. Left flank is once more looking perhaps just a bit open. Noting now the player's gone for any mortars to lay down smoke screens and help them doing attacks. Towards the penal troop, they got 206 for 224. So far it's used Osttruppen, the Stugi, and the sector artillery. No sign of the defensive fortifications or the pack for the fleet. As for Hellcats, we've gotten the T-55 radio intercept, obviously, maybe some vehicle repairs, and Stugi attacks. The only thing he really hasn't done, we can say for sure, is the eyes too. Packs opening up in the T-45. Loading the flamethrower after by the way is still alive there for Luciano. That is pretty well done. And we got another sector to break up an eastern assault here by Hellcats. Reacting time. There you go. The flamethrower attack finally bites the dust. Ooh, he needs to get moving fast before the German artillery shatters the penal troopers, since they are very bunched up. I mean, had he moved a bit too slow, that would have been GG for those penal troopers. There you go. Flipping being bombarded by the Panzer F. The rocket slamming down and almost killing the crew, but not quite. Maximum up in the west. Packs opening up in the H-5, we got the field up in the Stugi. Almost got it there. And the Stugi's, there we go, ace level increasing its speed, but also its rate of fire. And there you go, ace field gun crew. Not enough to finish off the Stugi there, which quickly zips away with 18 kills. Is Hellcats now stalling for the ice too? It's hard to say. It's a bit hard to see what Luciano's playing at, though it's starting to look a bit like a Panther or a Sturmpanzer this time around. Stugi receiving a pace. 5% victory point continues, got 206 versus 214. That's marked pressure on the right side. Could consider sneaking some more force, and similarly Luciano could consider sneaking up some more force on the left side. We got the Osttruppen in there though. Field gun bombardment and T-5 going for the MG-42 in the centre. Hellcats wants it dead and actually almost pulls it off there, but a lack of accuracy does allow the machine gun crew to escape the clutches of the Red Army. Defending the eastern victory point with the Osttruppen as he sees to the western one with another Osttruppen squad. Ooh, lots of pimps as a single Osttruppen score. That is definitely not a good engagement here for Luciano, but he does create a target for the Panthers, and it's not what he's firing at. Instead, he's shooting at something here, and every single rocket thusly fails to hit anything. But yeah, H2 is a bit slightly bad news there for Hellcats infantry. IS-2 is starting to look like roughly 2 to 3 minutes away there, depending on how the situation with the manpower looks primarily. Since fuel-wise, you should roughly have it for the IS-2s. It's basically, I think, going to boil down to manpower here. Osttruppen moving up the ground to reach the victory point. We got all 3 victory points down the control of Hellcats and the 10th Mechanized Corps against 17 Blasted Panther getting 82. H2 just continues to hammer away high explosive shell after high explosive shell here. And Hellcats force. Then we go taking out a anti-tank field of a squad. Down to just one man, and finally he retreats. Tifa and Luciano getting hammered here by the Pack 40s. Osttruppen getting blasted by the Maxim and the other Maxim. And in the west, another push of victory point there with the field nearby. Panther on the way for Luciano and for the spare for Bandit von Salken. Tifa taking heavy damage from Panzerfaust and Pack 40s and goes down a blow there to Hellcats and the Red Army. IS-2 does not far off Nego. Field gun obliterates on one of Luciano's Osttruppen squad. In fact, he's lost another one, so he's down to just one Osttruppen squad, leaving him desperately understaffed in infantry. Very risky development here for Luciano. He's not careful, even with all that armour and artillery. And the tank and they're taken out by the Osttruppen. 13 kills, nice work there by Luciano. Luciano striking with his Panther 4 hit, trying to rely as much as possible can as his armor edge for now while it lasts. It should further shoot, and IS-2. Again, he's got the fuel, but manpower wise, you might be noticing there's a bit of a difference in terms of what he needs and what he has. Max, when they're taken up by the Panther 4, he is taking some heavy losses now. Things might be crumbling a bit here for Hellcat versus Luciano. There you go, Panther going for the issue 5. Direct hit here. Anti-tank kills the pulver for anti-tank satchel. Oh, doesn't get it off in time. Oh, there we go. There we go. Panther taking heavy damage. Another unit wiped out, but the Panther Pack 40 shoots. And there you go. Oh, Panther down. Luciano they got too aggressive, but the issue 5 goes down in a shower of debris. Quite a loss there for Luciano, but also a loss for Hellcats, and he's calling artillery to basically break up any attempt for rations to pursue and break through. Nice work there, almost get the Pack 4, but got artillery there again, cut rain down on the rations. Stugear bombarding away, Panther 4 being repaired. Big 2 points, one is 167 versus 206. Hellcats very close to the IS-2. Luciano calling in more Osttruppen. Osttruppen there by penalty was with an Osttruppen, that machine gun. Great hit with this 3 on the Stugi. Another hit there. Pack 40 about to get taken out there. That was his 8th Pack 40 crew, by the way. And there you go, Panther 4 blitzes in. Hellcats very close to the IS-2. He's so close. But now Luciano's losing too much, even though he wasn't not paying attention. There you go. Well, Hellcats losing it. Luciano's getting wiped in. He's going for the HQ5 now. His IS-2 plan has once more been thwarted. At this stage, the question if he might not be better for going for the IS-2 over the HQ5, considering everything. Panther 4 is about to take out the Ace Field and crew, which definitely a loss here for Hellcats, but the anti-tank penalty was managed to save the day there. Except they don't, because the field gun crew still ends up dying. Stugi moving in, trying to crew that field gun under heavy fire here from Luciano's forces. HQ5 halfway down, there you go. Field gun crew dead again. And trying to destroy the... Oh, he crewed with engineers, but they got wiped as well. So now this is the field gun. There you go, down it goes. 42 kills and 28. A lot of men died for that field gun. This field gun was Comrade Stalin's childhood field gun. Defended with your lives, but it was made yesterday. Shut up. T-Fed on the way, the Hellcats back up the HD5, so one thing for sure, he's not going to get an HD5 at this stage, I think. But Hellcats is now the one desperately short in infantry. In fact, most things here versus his opponent does have the victory point lead, but it's a very minuscule one, minimal, marginal. Now the Panther of Barrage off here. 14 kills, very good. He's about to get annihilated here in the centre. Things are very much falling apart here for Hellcats and the 10th Mechanized Corps, as Luciano is beating him into submission, it seems. T-Fed going for the Panther 4. H5 shoots, gets a nice hit. Panther 5's there, damaging the T-Fed 5, get a support column to the centre. Pioneers could get shredded here as they repair the Panther 4. There goes Stugi, takes a nasty definition farm, almost goes down. Almost, but not quite. So that would have been quite a bit of help there for Hellcats, as that Stugi has managed to give him a lot of grief. Not as much as the Panther 4, but still a bunch of grief. Sadness, misery, despair. We got 150 farmers and 155. Still very close between these two players. A few more strafes there. What will Hellcats go for next besides repairs? And will Luciano ever consider maybe some bunkers or something like that? Trench could also be nice. Osttruppen tanks and that anti-tank rooms of course is all that is left to hold the line here for the Red Army, the Soviet Union. Using his last munitions, he hopes to push the Osttruppen away or kill them, and sadly just ends up wasting the munitions for the most part there. I think Hellcats starting to suffer a bit from tunnel vision. He needs to focus more on the flank. He needs to try and outmaneuver Luciano. So he just keeps, trying to take him on head on, and that's kind of working out for Luciano, who's now bringing up a second Panther. And Hellcats again is just struggling. He's finally bringing up more infantry, but nonetheless he's in a bad spot. There you go, ace Panther already here for Luciano, and he's for Bandit von Sarkin. Half health, but still 47 kills. Vexen 3 is really good for him. Really good. Luciano could also benefit a bit more from flanking Hellcats. Machine gun here versus the T-35, 1 kill. Great to hear from the Pack 40 on it. We got 138 versus 151. Hellcats is still in it, but it's not looking wildly optimistic unless he pulls off something really clever here versus Luciano. It's an absolutely insidiously clever flank that completely blows Luciano's mind. Second Panther out here for Luciano, and this Panther Bandit von Sarkin in the centre. Penal Troopers and Maxim getting either pinned down or utterly destroyed by the Panther of the Barrage. T-Fed running for a few hits, but they go taking them instead from the Pack 40. Panther 4 and Panther advancing. H5 lands a decent hit on the Ace Panther 4, but the Panther has seized none such resistance. There you go, straight to the T-45, which stands no chance versus the might of the Panther campaign for H5 to the rescue. But will it be enough? There's the Panther, and it is. T-45 was able to escape, but the Panther, of course, does escape as well. And there's only we got Osttruppen and Maxim joining up. That's the Rations. Scoop E moving up. Hit down the Penal Trooper crew, but it's not quite doing enough damage. There we go. 31 kills. Before the H5 pushes them away. Veteran 2. All victory points on control of Luciano and the Spare for Bandit von Sarkin once more. Ace Panther 4 good to go. 48 kills. 31. 2. He's sending in the Panther 4. He's going to try and take out the H5 with it. Nope, apparently doesn't. Might be able to pull off it with a good Blitzkrieg assault, but decides he's got better things to do. 100 points left here for Hellcats. 49 kills on that Panther 4 though. 49, that is kinda crazy. But not a lot though. Panther being fixed up. 23, 1, 0. 19, not bad. T-Fed moving up east, west for TDD with the Osttruppen there. shoots and lands a nice hit. He's down to 760 versus Luciano's 151. There you go. Stieg opening up the advancing penal troopers, machine guns. Osttruppen opening up here. Panzer 4 joining in. H5 shoots and lands a nice hit there on the Studi Ace. Tifa coming up with the re-exposed. He can quickly take a lot of damage here easily. Starts to charge off. Doesn't really do anything there to Luciano. We got a Panther barrage off. It could land right. He can do a lot of damage. And there we go. Oh, wow. Didn't actually get any wipes, but in the end, it breaks Hellcats' will and he surrenders. A loss here for the Red Army. A victory for Germany, for Deutschland. A brutal 1 versus 1 here on Langraskaya. Hellcats, I think, in the end, was undone by his own tendency towards tunnel vision and not putting off any bigger flanks or maneuvers there on Luciano. I would say he made a pretty good use of his doctrine there. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed it. Learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment, tell your friends, tell your family, but not your enemies. And if you like what I do, you can donate or pledge on Patreon. Links are in the video description. This is Imperial LinkedIn. Cheers. Thank you for watching and hope to see you all tomorrow again for a nice hunting episode. Bye.